Hey, I'm Sam Famous and we're live. Man, oh man. What has happened with the Mike Coffee 10? First in the chat. Look at you. Look at you. Man, we are here in Monument Valley. We've taken a full-time job in a sim world. We're going to pretend to fly passengers, like tourists, around Monument Valley, kind of like a scenic flight tour that you can hop onto. And, it takes up, 3 or 4 people at a time, couple people. You go, you check the monuments, you fly around, you come back, you land, you drop off your people, and you do it again. That's kind of what we're thinking about. Let me go ahead and pull up the old YouTube chat. We have plenty of stuff to do with this beautiful, beautiful Piper Comanche. Let's see. Let's get everything set up here. Do a mic check. Oh yeah, mic check. It works. We got the beautiful wifey with hellos, woof woof, and bark bark. She is not a dog. She does pretend to be one though. She's got the shoes to match. You should see her. She's got these dog-shaped shoes. The what? God. Am I? Yeah, that's what you need. The pilot that can't talk right. You been drinking, sir? No, just water. Gosh. Anyway, so what I was saying was we're here in Monument Valley. We decided to take a full-time job, um, and we're going to pretend that we are going to work here, take passengers around, God, for scenic flights, and see how we do. Now, these monuments, I've got them written down on the list over here. So as we do this job, I'm going to be doing this job in Microsoft Flight Simulator for the next year. From this time to this time next year, I'm going to be flying this plane in this area on Tuesdays and Thursdays every week for the rest of the year as a full-time, part-time pilot here at Monument Valley. We do have our plane. It's got the AZ602 as our number. Typically we would have on our pilot's uniform, but today it's a little chilly, about 40 some degrees, and it is our first flight up, so today is going to be a bit of a training day. Our first official day taking passengers will be this Thursday, but today is going to be our training day for us and you guys to jump in, get to know the plane. And let me tell you, this plane. So I reached out to A2A Simulations and I was like, hey, I really enjoy the Piper Comanche. I like what you're doing over there with the plane being able to remember, kind of be alive, so to speak. And there's just so much you can do with this plane. I reached out to them. I was like, you know what? I have this idea. I want to do a full-time job in a simulator, but I want a plane that has sort of the realism. And they're actually kind of starting this kind of thing where they're having people take the plane, see how it ages, how the wear and tear is. And it just so happened to line up. I reached out. They hit me back. They tossed out the plane. They also tossed me another plane that's coming in for the Caribbean streams we have planned. But they reached out, super fantastic people, and they just sent me the plane, and they said nothing. They didn't say, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. They just said, enjoy the flight. So that's what we're going to do today. My first initial flight, when I checked out this plane, I started it up. I started it up the wrong way, and it popped off, and it scared me. It sounds real. Check out those planes flying. Oh, by the way, if you want to fly with us, we are live. We're on the West Coast West servers. We do have AI traffic turned on, or not AI traffic, but live traffic. So that plane that's up there in the sky above us, if you guys can see that, the trail off of it, may be a real player, or it may just be a live flight that's going on right now. We have everything turned on, live flights, live players. So we want everything in the skies above us, just like realistic. That being said, we have a ton of stuff to get into this plane. Let me get back to the first person view here. I love the fact that we can fly everywhere, walk around, check out all this stuff. Man, it's just great. Where to begin? Where to begin? Let's go ahead and let's leave it tied down. It gets pretty windy out here, so we got to be careful of the wind. Let's check some things here. Go over here, open this guy up. Let's check our fuel. Yeah, okay, everything looks good there. We're gonna pop that cap back on. Look at how the paint's wore out right here. That's awesome. Back up, stuck down. Let's check our fuel. I really dig this here. Haha, check that out. Let's take this, and how do we do that? There. Oh, nope, my bad. One more time. And here, there we go. We're checking for water in the fuel, I believe. Remember, I'm not a pilot, just pretending to be one. All right, looks pretty good there. Mike Coffee says, this is cool, someone flying the Comanche. Hey, what's happening, Mike? How you doing? I tell you what, man, they sent me this plane over. I jumped in it and was instantly just impressed. I don't know. I don't know what it was about the plane. It's just as soon as I started it up, I started it up and I had the throttle cracked too much and it popped off and just went wow, man. It's kind of scared me. And then it's just when I knew that's when it was real, right? That's when it was real. And then I started seeing I could come over here and I could check the tip tank. And I was just like, I could see the fuel in here. I was like, I love that. And I've been playing a lot of American Truck Simulator, and I like to add some realism to that as well. And but the plane's just a whole different scenario. All right, looking good there. At least I think it is. You guys who are full-time pilots of these, make sure you give me all the tips. You know what I mean? We're gonna learn together. I'm gonna be flying this guy for a year. You know what I mean? So we got plenty of time to check stuff out. I love how those things sound too when you just move things around. Let's see. Mike says, in real life, they don't throw fuel from the cup anymore. I can imagine they probably have like some way there's probably a proper way they dispose of it. How do they do that? Looking okay there. Pop back off of here. Like I said, we do have live players on, so anybody is welcome to come and join, fly with us. Try to keep it on the realistic side, make it make sense. You know what I mean? Make it make sense. So we got that checked. I believe we got another one right up here. Boom. So we got go up here and look. And there it is. I can see the fuel in it. Oh, that's so cool. Dig it. Mike says they have a special cup now. Seen it in a pilot store or put it back in the tank. Oh, that'd be cool. It'd be cool, like say that we're working for this company here, which is basically going to be Sim Famous Tours, something like that. But if we could have like disposable cups or something, that'd be pretty neat. Let's check this guy. And all the luggage looks good. I love how the little key pops up. Mike says, in real life, you don't have to stand on the wing. Nice. I was watching some videos of real pilots who have the Comanche and stuff, and I was kind of blown away by how close this plane is just to a lot of things, I love that. I love that sound. Oh, I landed this sucker too over on a dirt runway up in Lone Pine. If you guys ever watch the Ghost Town Living YouTube channel, you can land up at 026 Lone Pine. It's a nice little airport. It's a glider airport, so they have it kind of modeled a little bit better. It's a nice flight. I landed up there on the dirt runway, and when you put this thing down in the dirt, you can hear all the gravels. Man, sold. Let's see, it's ducked down. Perfect. Mike says, those are the real sounds you heard. Those sounds in a Piper Warrior C used to fly with my old man. Nice. We'll stay ducked down here. We'll turn there. Can I get it from back here? Let's see. Maybe here. All right. Oh, I probably got to go to the front. Yeah. Copy. Got to go to the front. Oh, don't let me forget to close that. There you go. All right. Something else I did? I started up the plane. Now, I wish I would have give anything if I was recording and had the camera on. But hear me out. When I started up the plane and I had the throttle crack too much and then it scared me because it was loud, I was like, boom. Not only did it scare me because it sounds so real and the way the engine started in this plane, also at the same time, it blew the door shut because I have the door open right now. It blew the door shut and then that also scared me. And then I was like, okay, this is what I like. This is the plane. You know what I mean? I dig it. I see what we're going for here. Let's check the oil. I did take this plane up for a flight earlier. So, is the oil on the other side? I did take it up for a flight. So it is in a brand new state, but I didn't reset it. So whatever it is what it is right now. Let's see what we got here in the oil. Looking pretty good. It's clean. See no problem there. All right. Double check it. Fabulous. Just a little double check there. Mike says, can you bring the tablet with you? You can. Let's see. If I'm standing out here, if I go up here, and boom, right here we got it. We can do the checklist. It's currently 48 degrees. We got 3 knots of wind. Oh, and speaking of the tablet, thanks for bringing that up, Mike. here's something I want to show you guys. Here's something that I really love about this plane. All right, check this out. All right, we're gonna go to controls. All right, we're gonna select on the T, which is tow bar. It is pretty cool that you can tow the plane if you want. Just FYI. All right. Let's pop this guy off. Park and brake off. All right. So now let's go back to the tow bar. As you can see, I got the tow bar set up. Make sure you got the parking brake off. You can use your controls. Now I'm going to bring up the camera for this. All right. Should see the camera pop on. Now I'm going to take the controller. Hey, look, we could move the plane. We could move the plane. Just like if we had like a, I don't know, like a little tow dolly we're pushing around. I love that we can do this. This is real life. That makes it so fun, especially if we find a nice little hangar that we can push this sucker back into. Little air park. Pretend where we live. I dig that. Totally dig that. All right, we'll set the parking brake. We'll go back to the inside. Let me get the view back. And we'll go back to the outside again. But I thought that's a feature you gotta see. If you're not familiar with this plane and you like a little touch of realism, I mean, I don't own a plane. I don't know what it's like, but I feel like that would be kind of cool. Everything's looking good. We checked everything on the outside. I think we're ready to pop in. And let's go for our first flight. Sort of getting to know the area. And tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Thursday, will be our first full flight with passengers. And we're going to work a pretty long shift that day. You know what I mean? Let's pop on in here. Let's go ahead. We'll put that window up. We're going to go ahead and close this door because it will blow that sucker shut. Open that up so we can keep some air going. Going to remove that. Now, I like this tablet, the way that you can move it around. Look, check this out. I dig. You can put it like just different areas, like if you're holding it or someone was holding it for you. Put it down there. Bring it over here. I really enjoy that about this rig, man. That's pretty fantastic. Fuel is on. Left that in that state. Now I'm going to try to learn how to start the plane without all the checklists, just so I can familiarize myself with it. And, I guess looking at the checklist at the same time. Let's see. And you guys that really do this and know more about this can teach me along the way, right? Right. Parking brake is still set. We're going to go master switch. We're going to get rotating light on. Strobe. Mike says, I can teach or help if you want. Yeah, totally fill me in on anything and everything. So we got fuel on. That's there. Strobe off. Perfect. Strobe is off. And let's see. Mixture set to full rich, I guess. Prop all the way up. Should we prime? Fuel pump is off. I feel like it would. And see, at 47 degrees, we don't need the engine heat, I don't think, right? Okay. 1, 2, what, 3? 3 times? 3 to 5 times? 4, 5. Looking good. Master switch. That's good, that's good. I believe we're ready to fire it up, right? Crack the throttle a little bit. Lock the prime. Oh, primed her some more. Don't know how to lock the prime. We will learn that as, like I said, this is training day. This is training day. First day on the job. Okay, I love all these sounds. It sounds like I'm in a 1972 Continental. Right click. I will have to practice that. So fuel pump on now. Check our fuel pressure, right? Is that right? Fuel pressure is coming up. This is where we say clear prop. Will she fire? Come on. Oh. Pump out. Ah, it's alive. Hear the wind blowing through this little window? Love it. Oh, it sounds so good. It's just... Okay, so we don't have, like, ATC here. We have permission to fly around all this area. It's closed off anyway in certain spots. Go ahead and close up this window. Close up that window a little bit. So now I noticed when I had it running the other day and I was giving it a little fuel, when the cylinder head temp is not in the green, I get kind of a miss, like a misfire. Am I reading that? Is that correct, gentlemen? With this particular plane, you really want to wait till you get in the green before you get off the ground, right? We're gonna get our avionics master switch on, let that fire up. Mike Coffee says yes. Okay. I enjoyed that about it. I had revved it up and I was like, man, it's like it's got a misfire. And it was not happy. Mike says, let it warm up a little bit, but not too much in a hot area. Okay, that makes sense because they are air cooled. Is that right on these guys? It's 48 degrees Fahrenheit outside. So we're looking pretty good there. And like I said, I have a list to my right as well. Okay, so we'll go ahead. Let's get off the controls cam for you guys, so you can see more of the plane there. Sorry, I left that on. I'm going to try to remember to have the camera on when we get ready to take off so you can see the controls and handwork. Once we get up, get autopilot set, then we'll be, camera off so we can look at the monuments and stuff. If that makes sense. Trim needs to be set to neutral. I think that's about neutral right there. Let me do a flight control check real quick. Make sure everything's full back, full forward. Okay, everything's good there. Alright, so now the run-up, would we do the run-up before the... No, we would wait till we're in the green before we do the run-up. Yeah, we definitely wait. So like I said, today is our first training day with the plane, and it's also going to be getting our flight plan together of where we're going to fly around the monuments. Everything's going to be visual, like I said, and then on Thursday, the next flight day, we're going to be making multiple trips. We're going to be picking up people, flying around the monuments, talking about the monuments, landing here, dropping people off, picking people up, same thing. And in real life, if you were using this plane as a scenic, like tourist operator that we're using it now, would we shut the plane down before we pick up other people? Or would we just pull the props back and tell everybody to be careful? What would be an operating procedure for that? Now, we don't need any sort of flight plan or heading really set right now, just because I know kind of where we're going to be flying to, per se. Oh, she's starting to get warmer, right? That was cool, as it was like the idle was dropping down. Thought that was pretty cool. See there, the engine's dropping down again. As it gets warmer, right? That's pretty cool. Mike says idle 1,000. Okay, let me pull her up. Comes 1,000. I'm just going real slow. Oh, a little bit over. There you go, right about 1,000. Oh, you hear that miss? Bop, 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 bop. Is that because it's not warm enough right there yet? Oh. Whoop. Yeah, that's the miss I was talking about. Mike said, did you inspect the engine, etc. on the tablet? Something could be wrong. I haven't checked here. Let's go to maintenance. Engine. Inspect. Oil level. Spark plug should have... What is massive and fine wire? Maintenance expect engine. Okay. The beautiful wifey Helen says, "Cool stream." Doesn't appear to be doing anything there. Engine analyzer. Helen says, "Max says hello." This is what our engine's running at right now. Pull the mixture a bit. Okay. Let's see, I'm pulling it slowly. I mean, that, let's see. I mean, we've still got it. Well, she's still running a little rough here on us. That's a mixture pulled back pretty good. Maybe she's just cold-natured, man. Maybe she's cold-natured. She's like a Ford, maybe. I don't know. Helen says it's cool. I mean, it's hitting a lick. It's sputtering. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, okay. So as I change the mixtures, it changes the color. Okay. Oh, almost killed it. I mean, we still gotta let it warm up. Well, she's popping a lick though. I bet the people in the office like, are we sure we should have hired this guy to fly our people around? No. Everything's good there. What was that? I wonder if she's just cold-natured. Add a little bit more power. She's still running rough. I'm gonna run it up to about 1,500 RPMs. Let me run the mixture in. We'll see if we can get it to clear out. She's running rough. Yeah, changing the mixture. She still's got that idle. We'll pull her back down to 1,000. Now, what I have noticed if I go over here to maintenance and I go to engine, now I feel like sometimes if I've changed it to fine wire, it's cleared this issue up, but I don't know of a reason why I would have to do that. Oil pressure's good, oil temp's good. Idle adjust. It doesn't seem to be changing anything. I mean, it's showing everything green, you know? So, fine wire's better plugs. Yeah, see, watch when I hit fine wire. Oh no, she's still missing, huh? What about clean spark plugs? See, now whatever I did there, she's starting to straighten up. Now I wonder, is it the altitude of where I'm flying out of, the area? Have something to do with that maybe? All right, so now I'm going to release the brake, and we're going to go over here behind the shop. Brake check, that's good. Like I said, this is the first day on the job. We're just doing a little training, doing our brake check. Looks good. Right check, brakes. Left check, good. You see, I mean, it's running good now. All right. So once we get it running, like we're gonna fire it up over there, and then we're gonna pull over here, and we're gonna pretend that this is where we do our run up and sort of pick up passengers. But we're not picking up passengers today. That's why I said, you know, do we have to shut the engines off if we picking up passengers? Can we just run it low idle? And we pretend that we'd pull over here. Good, looking good. Brakes. Check out this plane from the outside. Oh, just awesomeness. Okay. All right, we're going to do a quick run up, and then we're going to do a test flight around the area. The run up, we're going to go up to 2,000 RPM, right? All right, here comes 2,000. And we're going to cycle the prop. Listen to this. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I know we're supposed to do it. Now we're going to do it one more time. Bring it back 1800. There it stabilizes. And bring it down. Back to 1,000. Mike Coffee says, next time run the engine for about 2 minutes before run up. Got it. See, we're now just barely getting in the green. We're going to get one set of flaps. Okay, looks good, looks good. Let's get our landing lights on. Pitot heat on. We haven't done a magneto check. We will do that tomorrow when we're doing the whole passenger run. Looks good. All right, let's head out. Brakes off. This is pretty cool. This is the first day of a year-long's worth of work we're going to be doing here. And the reason why I want to do it for a year is to experience all the changes in the game, the changes with this plane, the changes in the weather from a daily, weekly basis. We are running live weather, live time. We're going to do kind of a few passes over the area where we're going to be working at here come Thursday. We'll take a look at some monuments. Love the wingtips. All right. Brakes on. We'll set our brakes for a second. Looking good. And grab a drink of the old Diet Coke. All right. Let's get our flight controls on. Camera where you guys can see what we're doing here. All right, looking good. All right, chat. Let's go flying. This is gonna be good. First day of practice. Here we go. Brakes coming off. Pull the throttles up. If we have engine failure, we go straight out. Hopefully land safely in the field. If we can't make it back, there's 2,000 RPM. Releasing the brakes. Oh, she's pulling. There we go. Easy, looking good, looking good. 80 knots, rotate. Come on, gear. There's the gear. Gear's going up. Flaps up. We're going to go up to about 4,000 feet in altitude. Once we get up to altitude, we'll get our headphones on. Looking good. Turn it around. Looking good there, looking good. There's 4,000 feet. There's almost 4,000 feet. We're gonna switch hands because I only have so many hands. I got this kind of set up weird. We're gonna grab our tablet. Flight info, control, master mode. Pull the throttles back. altitude. Come on, turn on, there we go. Looking good. Pull our throttles back. And heading mode set. Alright, get our headphones on. Just like that. Headphones are on. Let's go ahead and bring our tablet up over yonder. I should have fuel pump on for takeoff. Mike says, downloading the scenery as I watch the video. Nice. We're just using the stock Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 scenery, just as a heads up, in case you wanted to know. Scat Pack says, so what's going on with the trucking, or the trucking days are over? Oh no, trucking days are not over. We will be heading out on the trucking on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. We got trucking is Wednesdays and Fridays, and flying is Tuesdays and Thursdays for the rest of the year. Alright, altitude set at 5,000 feet. We'll probably have to adjust our trim as we go. Looks good there. We're going to go back here. Now we flew out of the Utah, not Utah, U2, shit, man, I can't talk. I can't. UT25 airport. Oh, there's the there's our autopilot warning. We got to get the trim down. Just the trim. There we go. So we headed out, and we're going to be headed by Eagle Mesa, which is first right over here to our right. Trim down a little bit. Scatback says, by the way, everybody, good evening. Mike says, great. Oh, can't do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Today is an exception. Hey, totally understand. You can catch us on the rewind. Now, we will have other flight days too, but that's going to be our schedule as of right now. Flying on Tuesday, trucking on Wednesday, flying on Thursday, and trucking on Friday. Mike says, love your old-fashioned autopilot. You have to help it. Oh, yeah. Man, I've been learning this thing here. I've sort of been learning how to use it with the push controls as well. And then I discovered that you can do it on the tablet as well, which I thought was pretty unique. All right, we're going to pull our speed back. All right, and I'm going to take you over here to the passenger seat. Now, we just passed by, this is Eagle Mesa right here. And next is going to be the Setting Hen. Going to be right there, we're passing by. Scatpack says, all right, well, enjoy. I'm out. See you later, Scatpack, the legend himself. So yeah, we're going to be kind of studying, looking at the monuments. Like I said, this is practice day. This is like a sort of like dress rehearsal, if you will, so to speak. You know what I mean? All right, heading change here. All right. Now, I don't know all the names of all the monuments yet, but we are learning them as we go. Back there, we had, like I said, the setting hen, and then I think we got Ringman's Tube, the King on His Throne tune. We got the Stagecoach, which I need to get you back over here so we can see this. And we're going to have the Bear and Rabbit Summit, which is pretty cool. And then the Centennial Mesa. And we got a couple of the buttes coming up. The West Mitten Butte, which is the one right off our nose. And then to our right, we're going to Merrick, I think is it East Mitten Butte, and then Merrick Butte. Is that how I say it? Is it Butte or Butt? You know, a guy's gotta know. So, but yeah, that's kind of the ideal. We're going to be coming out here, getting to know all the monuments, getting to know some history about it, getting to know some of the surroundings, and just being able to take everybody on a nice scenic flight. But we got to get, you know, this is, like I said, our first test day. Flying the plane, getting to know the area, pretend that we just moved to the area. And then tomorrow we're going to be on American Truck Simulator with some long hauls. Looking forward to that as well. Once again, it is glad to have everybody here. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. We truly appreciate it. Once again, shout out to A2A Simulations for hooking us up with this awesome plane. They're not paying me to say that. I would just say that if I bought the plane. Matter of fact, I did buy the plane for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. But I can't remember my account, so therefore I can't remember how to get the plane transferred over. So therefore, you know, hey, it happens. Like I said, we will get to know all of the surrounding monuments and some of the history and stuff. But like I said, today is going to be us, you know, practicing like we did, starting the plane up, learning from you all. We're going to do some more landings and takeoffs, flying around the area here at different altitudes. Our working altitude is going to be about 5,000 feet or so. Man, the views are just awesome. Man, this is going to be a great trip to really learn this plane, see what it's like, you know, experience all the weather that this year is going to have to offer. Imagine flying in the same area for a year in Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's what we're doing. In a GA plane. I love it. Like I said, we do have on live players, and then we do have on the live traffic. All right, so around this area is here where we'd make our turn for our Thursdays. Oh, other way. For Thursdays, first time taking passengers working from Monument Valley Tours. In conjunction with SimFamous Scenic Tours, which would be me. Oh, also for operating up here, we can also turn off our lights while we're up here flying around, because in theory, when we're up here, just us, there wouldn't be anybody in our airspace, so it should be closed off to everybody. But the scenic tours here in the national park area, I think it's a national park, or in the park area. Like I said, those are all things we're learning as we start this journey. And it's going to be fun to see what it's like to progress from day one to the last day of this time next year. It's going to be pretty cool. Looking forward to it. We are using the Logitech 3D Stream Pro, cheapest joystick you can get. That's what we use. And we have it's a cheap little SCENIC, I forget what you call it. We don't have any rudder pedals, but we use this for our throttle or mixtures and stuff. And then for our trucking stuff, we use the Logitech G29. Alright, and this is where we'd make our right to head back towards our airport. We're going to try to do the same or similar path every day that we do this flight. Something similar. Just as if this was our day job, you know, our 9 to 5, which it is. Except virtually. Now, when you're flying this plane, when you're up here cruising along, would you pull the throttle and the prop back? And why does the landing gear say unsafe? And I think once we learn the plane and we learn our surroundings here, I think each flight, not from startup, but from leaving the airport, making the circle around and coming back, it's probably going to be like 30 minutes or so per flight. So, and then we're going to be blocking off a certain time every day that we stream from, which would typically probably be around 2:30. No, I'm sorry. It's going to be earlier eventually. But today for rehearsals, for dress rehearsal as a pilot, it's 2:30. Mike says, all right, time to make a fancy coffee. I'll listen from the kitchen. Is the gear up and RPM, is the gear up and RPM first, throttle second? Okay, let's see. Gear is up. Gear is up, and I've got, so like if I pull the throttle and propeller together, you know, obviously we can pick up speed, but if we're cruising, do we just bring her back, bring the RPMs and everything back? That's kind of what I'm thinking about. So our airport is going to be off to our left as we're headed back. And see, now we flew around, went this direction, we went around behind these monuments, we went out this way and back around. Mike says prop first. Okay, let me practice that. Okay. Down there is our airport. And then basically we will head this direction. Oh, let's get that down a little bit. We'll start slowing down. And we'll get ready to come in for our first landing here. Like I said, back there is the airport we're working out of. UT25. And we go out this way, and then we're going to make our turn, and we'll get down to the airport. Trim up. All right, trimming it up. All right, looking pretty good there. We're getting ready to pull autopilot off and start getting this bad boy ready for landing. Autopilot disconnects. Plane is ours. Oh, I totally, once again, operating procedure, I forgot to turn off the cameras so we could look around and see all the views. We'll get it figured out. Oh, landing lights. I need to program landing lights. I need to get all that stuff set. Fuel pump on for landing, I believe. I think that's right. We'll learn as we go, chat. We'll learn as we go. Okay, we got the airport in sight. Prop up, speed back. Start pulling it back. What speed can you bring the flaps back? I think I brought them back too early. Good. Landing gear is down. Making our way in. Coming down to about 100 knots. All right, we're gonna get our headphones off so you guys can hear the beautiful sounds. "100 knots, flap 1, got it." I was way early, probably broke the flaps. A little wide. Okay, here we go. "90 knots. Wind's kind of pushing us a little bit. We have no go-around option here. 90 knots. Bring it down. I didn't verify landing gear was down, but it did sound like it was down. Wind's pushing us. Line it up. Pull the power. Ooh, bouncing it. There we go. There we go, there we go. All right. Roll it on out. Roll it on out. All right. Clear the runway. Flaps coming up. Alright, we'll pull back over here in front of the shop. Pull back over here, and then we'll get ready and do another takeoff and landing. Helen singing, "Come fly with me." Alright, brakes on. Did I get brakes on? Brakes on. Landing lights off. So, fuel pump back off. So here would be my question. So let's say that we just did a trip. We took some folks around, right? We just landed back. In theory, could we pull over and let them out without shutting the engines off? I mean, we pop the door. I mean, it won't open. I mean, they'd have to be kind of strong, I guess. Or would we just shut it down? And what would be our procedure for that? Would it be the same thing as every single time? Are we doing a quick turnaround? What would that be? That's a good question. But we're not going to shut it down right now. We're going to go back up. We're going to put this away for now. Get our lights back on, our fuel pump back on. Let's move those out of our way. Roll those out of the way. See one set of flaps set. Well, let's go back out. And let's do another takeoff and another landing. Kind of get used to the area. Alright. Brakes off. And let's see if this takeoff and landing is different than the one we just did. And for this, we're just going to fly straight out, make a turn, and come back. Alright, everything looks good there. Rotating beacon, strobe light, parking brake set, fuel pumps, propellers full forward, mixture set. Alright, ready to take back off, flap set. Alright, brake set, power up. Okay, pull us to the left a little bit, not a problem. It's ready to fly. 60 knots, 70 knots, 80 knots, rotate. Oh yeah, it took off different. We're up. Gear up. Flaps up. Let's go straight up, 105 knots. Looking good. All right, let's get our headphones on. We do have two settings, noise canceling and that one. We'll run this one this time. All right. Let's pull the prop back. Helen says, enjoying the cool stream? A huge fan, Sim. Hey, thank you, beautiful wifey. All right. Let's go out here and make a circle. Let's check out the views on this side. Looking good. A little bit more climbing. Keep on climbing. Just kind of get a nice look at the area. Not bad. I need to rearrange things so I don't have to do all the crisscross applesauce with the hands. All right, this is over 5,000 feet. Let's level off, get ready to make a circle and go back in for a landing. Man, what a beautiful place to work. Pour our throttles back. Let's go down in altitude here. We'll watch our speed. I love how we can hear all the wind noise. Cruise is good, man. This is a good plane. Love the tip tanks. Where is our fuel? We got plenty of fuel, right? I didn't even check. Yeah, we're all right on fuel. The hand fly is really nice. We're gonna hand fly it all the way back in. Mike says, A36 and this plane right now, my go-to planes. Nice. I tell you what, the combination of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and the way that this plane sounds and just the... I mean, it seems to do great on graphics, too. It seems like it's modeled really well. It's got some nice operating systems. And I mean, I'm flying with a joystick. I mean, I'm sort of set up like a first officer setup, like a, you know. But I don't know if maybe because I play guitar, it doesn't really bother me. I can be sitting on the left side of the seat and feel like I'm flying on the right side. I noticed when you get it trimmed out, man, it's really nice too. It'll almost just hold its, you know, altitude, just trimming it out. Let's see. Looking good. I wonder if we could. Nah, I was like, we should land it from an outside view, but I need to practice the inside landings. Okay, the airport is in sight. It's supposed to snow Thursday in real life out this way. For those that know, what temperature? Let's say that if it's below 40 degrees, should I have the engine heat on? Should I turn on the block heater for this thing? Get it warmed up before we run it? And once again, I appreciate everybody being here, experiencing me living the dream, flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Once again, shout out to A2A for sponsoring and sending this out. I really, truly appreciate that. So awesome of them. I'm just a small-time creator, and I truly appreciate it, man. All right. Now, there's a lot of operating procedures we didn't do, like lights, fuel pump, and all that. We will be doing all that to the best of our knowledge once we get more situated. Landing gear. Flaps 1 at 100 knots or 115. I gotta slow this bird down. Okay, here comes 100 knots. Flaps 1. $90 knots, flap 2. 80 knots, full flaps. A little sideways. Off center line, Bring it around. Let it fall, Oh, bounce it. We're down. Whoa, a little sideways. All right, good. Straighten it up. Nice. Now that landing sounded totally different than the previous one. And was different as well. We're rolling out at a different speed, a little faster over this way. That's all right. And we're going to take this all the way to the end. So in real life, but on Thursday, we would roll out this way, lock them up. We'll come back out here. This is where we'll drop off the passengers. We'll pretend we're doing that. And let's take the bird up for one more takeoff and landing for today. So we would go over here, pretend we're dropping off another set of the SCENIC passengers. And tomorrow we'll be putting people in the plane as well. So lock up the brakes. We'd pretend people are getting out. We got our flaps up. You know, people going through that whole spiel. Thanks for the flight. You know, hey, no problem. Appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, thanks for picking some famous scenic tours. You know, blah blah blah, yada yada. You know, stuff like that. We'll be saying tomorrow. You know, and probably having something to drink. You know, real quick. Maybe grab a snack, depending. You know, if this is their second time in. You know, pilots got to have a drink. You know. You know, got that. So forth and so on, and then new pastors, the people lead them out. Probably some dude in a Hawaiian shirt, and his wife matching, same Hawaiian shirt. They pop out, All right, so they're in, and then they're good to go. Lights are on. Pitot heat off, back on. We're doing that. Landing gear to off, I guess. And then we'd set our flaps back to one set of flaps. Brakes coming off. We do the passenger brief. Hey, thanks for flying Sim Famous Tours. You could have picked anybody, but you picked us, We do that. I think this is going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to this whole year adventure of this. Alright. And this time we're gonna let it roll, like that, and full power. Alright, we're rolling. 40 knots. Airspeed is alive. Little bump there. 60 knots, 70 knots, 80 knots, rotate. We're up. Gear coming up. Flaps up. We'll get up to our 5,000 feet. The passengers like, wow, this is so cool, I can't believe we're doing a tour of the Monument Valley. I'm like, I know, right? Looking pretty good, looking good. There's 4,000 feet. We're going to pull that prop back out of the red. Mike says, I plan to do a year challenge too, just have to get my behind in gear, right? It's going to be, it's fun. It's going to be fun. Challenging, and you're going to have human mistakes, just like some days you're going to be tired, you might be sick, you're going to be rushing, all those things are going to be part of this whole situation, and I absolutely dig it. Alright, there's about 5,000 feet. We're going to level off. Pull the props back. Good. Now we're gonna make a turn. Let's see, it's really push it here. Bank angle. Alright, bring it around. Looking good. Now let's see if we can come in with a lot of inertia on this one. Let's see what this is like. $140 knots. Yeah, I know. 160 knots. You can hear all the winds, just much more louder, much more intense. All right, let's see what happens. Pretending we got to get back quick emergency landing. $140 knots. We got to get slowed down. Maybe we got an emergency. Landing gear coming down quick, way too fast. What would we do? We're too fast. 140 knots. $130, $120, still $120, coming in hot, still $120, pulling all power, 100 knots, floating it in, tap it, easy. Can we get it under control? Easy, just tapping on the brakes. Now, whew, that was coming in way too hot, but I wanted to see how the plane would react. Man, just the way it sounded coming in, it's just, it's too real. That was fantastic. Whew. I don't recommend coming in that fast, but boy, it'll do it. All right, we'll pull back over here. Now we're going to pretend that's the, end of our work day. So we got to take the plane back over here, get it set up. Okay, easy. Looking good. Turn back this direction. Head back over to the office. This is where we got to park the planes, right here, right next to the office. Turn it around on the dirt if we need to. Good, looking good. Looking good. A little bit more. All right. And brakes coming on. Let's see where that puts us. Yep. Not bad. All right, so we're going to get our rotated beacon, pitot heat, landing lights off. Looking good. We'll take our headphones out. Parking brake is set. Landing gear off. Kill it. Fuel pump master switch. Off. Avionics master. Let's kill the fuel. Those are off. Everything's close that. Good there. Good there. Lock up the controls. Looks good. All the lights are off. Close that guy. And get out. Welcome back. Man, we did it. We did it. Our first day of training. Got to know the plane. Got some ideas. And Thursday, we're going to be back in the old AZ602 Piper Comanche. Hanging out. We'll be in our full pilot's uniform then, you know. Man, let's go ahead and get this sucker locked in. You got to always tie these things down here. It gets windy here in Monument Valley. I mean, windy. That looks good there. And we'll go ahead and get off our camera for you guys so we can walk around the plane. Get our chocks set. See, we set them there. Okay. Boom. Tie it down. Let's go over here. This one tied down. Okay, tied down, locked up, ready to go. All right. Man, we did it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Monument Valley. Let's go shut our door over here. Lock that sucker up. Boom. And just like that, our first training day is done. We'll see you back here on Thursday for some more Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we'll also see you here Wednesday, which is tomorrow, for some American Truck Simulator. I'm going to get in here to the office, grab a cup of coffee, head on home. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining. Shout out to A2A Simulations for sending this bad boy over. Can't wait to spend this year with you guys. Make sure to hit that like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Mike. Later, beautiful wifey. We will see you later. Mike says, I like the concept of 24, just can't buy a supercomputer at this time. I'm running the old, what is this? I got the VICTUS laptop with, it's got the 4090 in it, and I got that hooked to a 42-inch ACER monitor. I got this laptop at the on sale at Amazon for like $680. So, but it is a laptop. But it does work. All right, Mr. Mike, thanks for hanging out. The beautiful wife and everybody who is watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow for some American Truck Simulator. And Thursday back here for our everyday job. Later, let's get here in the office. I'm out.